Hey, what's up guys? Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. My name is Joel, and I just got done watching Longlegs, where we follow an FBI agent named Lee Harper, where she is assigned to an unsolved serial killer case that takes an unexpected turn, revealing evidence of the occult. Harker discovers a personal connection to the killer and must stop him before he strikes again. The killer being Longlegs, hence the title of the film hints it. But before we get into the review, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you haven't already, because it helps the channel and it goes a long ways. But yeah, without further ado, let's hit play on Longlegs 2024. So, if you guys don't know about Longlegs already, I don't know what you're doing. I think you're living under a rock, because the promotion for this film has been outstanding. Like, the promotion has been very, low-key, they haven't shown too much in the trailers, posters, or whatever they've been doing with marketing. So I can kind of see why. But one thing, bro, the marketing for this film was actually crazy. Like, they had Micah Monroe, who plays Lee Harper in this film. Basically, they had a behind-the-scenes video where Nicolas Cage, who plays Longlegs, Nicolas Cage is in the makeup and the prosthetics, and this is her first time seeing Nicolas Cage, and you can hear the heartbeat. That was a cool video. But that's besides the point. I know you guys came here for the review. So, initial thoughts going into the theaters. My expectations, I'm not gonna lie, my expectations were very, very low for this movie. I just wanted to go in with an open, sound mind, not judging. I did watch a few reviews, but that didn't stop me. I just wanted to go in with an open mind, and coming out of it, I gotta kind of agree with some of those reviews that I watch. While I don't think Longlegs is a bad movie, I actually think Longlegs is a decent movie. It's good. It's good. Longlegs just, it has its issues. It has its issues for sure. But getting into the positives for the film, I love the FBI detective thriller vibes that this film had going on. Like so this film is split into three parts. The first two parts, where especially the first part, where it's nothing but FBI investigation, chef's kiss, right? They hit the nail right there on the coffin with that. Chef's kiss with the detective work. And you guys, if you guys know me, I am a huge fan of when horror films or slasher films, they include detective work. Stuff like this that just makes me, it makes me geek out. So that was a real positive, especially at the beginning of the film, where we're gonna get to spoilers in a minute, but especially at the beginning of the film, it's just so heavy with the detective work and everything, and I really love that aspect of the film. And it's interesting because our main FBI agent that we follow, Lee Harker, she's also half psychic, so we have like half psychic, half detective, or more than half detective. Those two elements mixed and combined together just make such a suspenseful and entertaining watch. Some of my other positives is the cinematography in this film. Boy, oh boy, did they try to replicate old film. And I'm telling you, not even just from the grainy, gritty filter, the cinematography, the camera angles, how the shots were framed, perfect. I loved it. I love the cinematography in this film. The lighting, the angles, the camera movement, I just loved it. I think the cinematographer did an excellent job with the cinematography. Really, sorry guys, it is also storming outside, so that's probably why you guys hear thundering, raining, and lightning outside. Cinematography in this film really enhanced the suspenseful feeling and just the emotion that we can see in FBI agent Lee Harker and then her partner. It just really added and enhanced the feeling of the film, which was this like crime detective thriller. And yeah, another positive of mine is the acting. The acting was on point. Not even like Nicolas Cage, like Micah Monroe, she nailed it. I love Micah Monroe in this film. Lee Harker, even though she's a FBI agent, she's also dealing with things. You know, she's a shy, I'm guessing she has some type of PTSD going on because she's like very nervous and shaken up most of the film. So there's something that we didn't like see about her that caused this like whole like these feelings that she's having. You know, she's psychic. I like that aspect of her. But really, the main star, Longlegs, Longlegs in this film, Nicolas Cage did his thing. I mean, even through the makeup, Nicolas Cage became the character. And Nicolas Cage always becomes the character he plays. When you watch a film, you don't say that's Nicolas Cage. No, when you watch a Nicolas Cage film, you think that's the character, bro. Nicolas Cage really plays the character. And we know Nicolas Cage, he chooses roles that he thinks are deemed worthy for him to act in. And this was another role. He did an awesome job. He played this like type creepy kind of Billy Stu Macher type killer. He was very like hyper. He had a high pitched voice. He was just really creepy and unsettling. Almost like I don't know. I can't say it on this video, but if you guys watched it, he was just really creepy. That's all I can say. He was just really, really creepy. Leaning more into like my other positives, I love how when they were doing the detective work, how Lee Harker was trying to decipher the codes. And I'm a huge fan of like true crime and whatnot, so that really, really complemented my taste in the horror genre. I love how she was deciphering the code. It almost gave me like those Zodiac killer vibes, if you know what I mean. How the Zodiac killer was left messages at like all his victims' bodies and whatnot. He in this film deciphering the code, just the code in general, just really like made me geek out. But I mean, that's really all my positives without spoiling. I mean, going into my negatives, I gotta go into spoiler territory. I really do. I really do. So, if you guys do not want to get spoiled at all by this video, I suggest you to leave. Click off right now. I'm giving you a minute. I'm giving you, come on now, 10 seconds, 5. I said 10 seconds, I said 5. Come on now. Come on, but for real, get off this video because we're going into spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My main negative with the film is like the whole like part 3, the third act of the film. That the third act really just irked me the wrong way. That not only that, Longlegs was very, very predictable, and I hate it. I did not hate that it was predictable because like you can do predictable, you can do it right. In Longlegs' case, it wasn't done right. You have all like the slow pace detective crime thriller, slow at the beginning. If you have a slow beginning, it should pay off at the end. But no, it for me, the third act, it didn't pay off just because of how predictable it was throughout the film. And I feel like if the director didn't make it so obvious, the third act would have stood out a lot for me. Me personally. I just thought the third act was very predictable and very rushed. That's just for me. You know, the whole like them changing it into a detective from a detective thriller into this whole religious like supernatural film. I get that they were implementing bits throughout the film, and I appreciated that. But once they fully transitioned, it didn't blend right, in my opinion. You can have a nice blend between both, and I feel like it can be definitely be done right, but it just did not blend at all. And I feel like if they just stuck with detective and crime thriller throughout the whole film, the film would be a like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 for me. But it was just that whole transition. It did not blend right. As soon as they set up the story where like basically Longlegs was making all the fathers kill their family members, including themselves, I was like, okay, yeah, Lee Harker's partner in this film is definitely going to end up killing his family and himself at the end of this film. I was like, there's no way. How do they make that so obvious? They make that a plot point for them not to pay that off at the end. And yeah, I was right. I predicted it. I was like, yeah. And guess what happened at the end of the film? He ended up killing off his family, well, his wife, and himself. I was like, kind of predictable. And even when Lee Harker went to go visit her mother, when she was like, oh, have you been saying your prayers lately? And then Lee Harker is like, no, prayers don't work. And then that's when the mom is like, yeah, you're right, prayers don't work. And she starts doing like an evil chuckle. I'm like, yeah, I knew it. She she is working for Longlegs. And then, more you know it, at the end of the film, it is revealed that she is working for Longlegs. Longlegs basically blackmails her into working for her, and she's basically the doll maker in this film. Because Longlegs, he's called the doll maker in this film, and he's not referred to Longlegs. He only refers to himself as Longlegs in one scene, and that's when he goes up to Lee Harker and reveals himself to her. And he's basically like, I brought my Longlegs with me today. He's not referred to Longlegs at all, basically, in this film. He's referred to as the doll maker. I don't know, guys. It's just like, you set up a great film, you set up a great tone, a great vibe that you are going with this film. For it then to like transition oddly in the third act, it didn't flow right for me, and it just, if they just stuck with the detective work throughout the whole film, that would have been chef's kiss. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys thought about this review. If you guys have already watched Longlegs, please let me know what you guys thought about the film in the comments down below. I highly suggest you guys to still go watch it. It's still a pretty good film in my opinion. If I had to rate it, I'd give it like a nice solid 7 out of 10. It's a solid film. It is solid. Is it the best horror film this year? No. In my opinion, it is not. It's not horror movie of the year. Is it still a pretty good horror film that we got this year? I'd say so. Yeah, it was one of the better ones we got this year. But yeah, without further ado, my name is Joel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash that like button if you haven't already, and yeah, peace out.